Tanto no ako makante kay ano to ma eko ni he prefixes eko suffixes e we pin moms ko tama eko tan se he peni ti ta kwa ke ayaw u hiki ko eka pin mo we tamata ko eko no he mana mista he we ti ko mana kano tenan sto tamana po kano teni tawin eko ni o he kapense sa we tuteno eko kapin mati tano eko. I have the previous class that I had, I spoke on a review of the first class that I had, and this class consisted of the sounds and where those sounds come from. So I've broken down all the letters of the Nahio alphabet into 5 sets. And we have our short vowels here, a, e, o. Our long vowels, u, e, our regular consonants, s, our blended consonants, the, the, and our semi-consonants, wa, yeah. When we start to talk about those letters, all the short vowels have the sound stops and they're blunt. So as they're being used in the language, you hear a rise and fall of those short vowels, just like the word danse. Danse is what you see when it's written down. However, when you go to speak it, you say danse. So there's a rise and a fall right in between the word, and all of the short vowels will behave in that way. Not all the time. There's certain rules that exist as you're reading the Nahio language. So danse, one ska, tanwa, tante. Those are some of those that will have that rise and that fall. My mother calls these the collapsing letters, and I spoke on the rules, the variances that exist as you're reading the Nahio language. All the long vowels will glide. And so when I say glide, they carry out much longer in sound than the short vowels do. U, E, E, A. And so as you practice saying those, focus on where that sound is coming from in your mouth. Because one of the things that I emphasize is that you learn where those sounds are coming from within the structure of your mouth, how you're using those tools to help you speak the language. Any language requires knowledge, I guess, knowing how your mouth moves and knowing which muscles are working as you're speaking. The regular consonants are the same as their English counterparts, and so mm, mm, mm. The blended consonants are made up of the p, is made up of the English p, and the English b, b. So we say p, peak, pune, pasiko. The ch sound, is right t, right on your teeth. And so you'll see that in the diagram where the English or where the Nahio C is. And those are a blend of the English ch and the English j, ch, chi, Chesqua, Chanawi. Then we have the, and that's a blend of the English T and the English D, huh, and the. So you're right in between those two sounds, the Nihtawewin, Danawa, Dante. That the sound, the is a blend between the English K and the English G, the and the. So you have Queas, Gaya, Guna. So these are, I've termed them the blended consonants. These particular consonants have a hard and a soft sound. So whether they're in the, if they're in the front or in the middle of the word, they're going to have the hard sound. If they're in the last part, if they're the last letter of the word, you'll hear a soft sound. So if you go to Nihtawewin, you can hear those, the T sounding the same in Nihtawewin. But if you say miss it, that's where you can hear that English T come through. And same with Beak, Beak, Asapap, Asapap. And so Sisip, Sisip is the P is in the final position. Mekwats, Mekwats, right now, and Beak, Beak, Beak. So practice those words and with what I asked the learners to do. The semi-consonants, and the semi-consonants are w, y, and these particular consonants, they transpose the sound of the vowels, meaning they change the sound of the vowels directly in front of them. You take the A sound, for example. We have two A sounds, short and long. So short A is long A is Now mio, that's the body. So that's Miyaw, mio. Then you have Kisikaw. And so you have K long I S I K long A W. And you take that ah and you listen to it in Kisikaw. So you can hear that change and how it transposes that vowel. So they slightly change the sound. So hi is what we say, and that would be with the Y is transposing that long A. I see no. Hi. And so most people would spell it with I, so they'd use Hiy, and that's saying he, CP, asini. Those are two words that have that short I and Y at the end of the word. So when you write HIY for hi, and that's thank you, hi, uh, you'd be actually writing he. And so these semi-consonants are very important, especially because those are the ones that are used in our songs. If you ever take a chance to stop and listen to the song, you'll hear those semi-consonants leading in the rhythm of the song. And so they also have a hard and a soft sound. If the letter is in the middle and in the final position, sawano, waskaikan. And so waskaikan starts with a W. Sawano means center, and sawano. And so it has a more of a soft sound, In Mio, you don't hear it. Um, the hard sound will hit the front part of the word. So this was just a review out of the first lesson that I did online. We went through the syllabics. Sapay, sa, pip, sa, kipay, kansa, chakpay, kansa. And so the center is always the vowels. So you have a, e, o, e, a, e, o, e, a, e, o, e. You have a, and you put that this symbol above that letter for a, e, o. It would just stay the same with the triangle facing down. So the only ones that you add the macron, the dot of the W on, or the highlighter, that what acts as a macron, is that dot that looks, and you place it right above a, e, e, a, e, u. So here now, if you just think about the structural diagrams that were in the first part, you're always coming from the front of your mouth. So from the front of your mouth, you have ma, me, mo, me. What's next is sa, se, so, se. Mm, na, ne, no, ne. Now we go over to the next one, and there's four. There's four of them that are here, so you know those are the blended consonants. So you right at the front of your mouth is pa. So you have pa, te, po, te. The next one is ta, ta, te, cho, te. Ta, ta is right at the bridge of your just behind your teeth, the bridge behind your teeth. Ta, te, to, te. Then you have ka, ka, and that's more towards the back of your mouth. Ka, ka, ke, ko, ke. Now you have the semi consonants. Wa, we, wo, we. You have the Y, yeah, yeah, yo, yeah. And so here's the H up here. The H it's not written with the vowels. So the H is always separate and by itself, and it looks like the apostrophe in English. The X that you see in the syllabic writing is the sound. It's the sound. Ute now is a town. Utena is in town. Auxiokamik is a hospital. Auxiokamko is at the hospital. And so you'll hear those that HK being used a lot because your location, identifying the space of that noun is in location, in time, will be highlighted with the use of the HK. So there's, depending how the structure of the word that you're using with it, that will determine how which vowel will be placed in that just ahead of this aspirated sound. The W, or the empty circle here, is when the W might appear at the end of the word without a vowel. So you're going to, so the final ending sound, and you'll see these final ends here. Mm, mm, ba, cha, ta, ka, ho, Yeah. So here's a macron, and that little macron or the marker will also appear if you're saying escuel. So escuel, here's the que right here. This marker would appear about halfway right behind it with this sound. So here's que, and you put a marker there, que. And so that's how the syllabics work. And at the bottom here, I'm going into a syllable division. So when you start breaking down the words into syllables, that's what helps you read and write syllabics. So you have wa, na, ha. And what I use to demonstrate syllable division are those demonstrative pronouns and the locative pronouns. So awa, ana, naha. I'll say this, that over there. Uma, anima, nema. That's identifying the location of the noun that you're talking with. Uta, ote, anta, nete. These are the locative pronouns that will identify your space. Uta is right here. Ote is over here. Anta is right there. And nete is over there. These are the demonstrative pronouns, inclusive pronouns. Awita, Anita, Nahita. So this one too, or this one here, Awita, Anita, that one there, Nahita, that one way over there. Omita, Anmita, Nemita. And you're making reference to inanimate nouns. So these all demonstrate location and space, these words, but you'll see how each of these is divided up, and that's in the handout. And how those the application of those syllabics. So this was just a short review to catch people up on breaking down words into syllables and writing them into syllabics. Okay, the next one. Now this here are the personal pronouns. And the personal pronouns, you'll see some letters are in blue and some are in red. Nia, kia, wia, nianan, no, ia wow, wia wow. And I'm just, so here the person is me, you, him or her, just us means me and him, excluding the person you're speaking to. Kia no, I'm including all of us, including the first person, the second person, and the third person. Kia no. So even if it's just the first person and the second person, together they make kia no. Kia wow is the second person and the third persons. So anybody else excluding yourself, the speaker, is kia wow. Wia wow. And now you're talking about plural sense of them. So and these are highlighted because they're highlighted because these are the structures that will appear in the paradigms. Nan, no, wow. Ne, ke, ke. And if you listen to a fluent speaker, you'll start to pick up on these variations within the speech. I've included the demonstrative pronouns in inclusive, mean including. So me too, nista. You to kista. Him or her to wista. Us to nistanan. All of us to istano. All of you to gistawao. Them to wistawao. Nistanan, and you'll see that person's being colored there. Gistano. Gistano te nakakito te. And so you'll see, I'm speaking in subjunctive form there. Gistano ute na getotano. And so there I'm speaking in indicative form. So the locative pronouns uta, ute, anta, nete. And here's the demonstrative pronouns and the demonstrative locative pronouns that were on the first review page. Awa, all of these, these last two here will have, will include two because you're including. And these here will mean the same, except this line is with animate and this is with inanimate. Awa, uma, awita, umita. Ana, anima, anita, anita. Naha, nema, nahita, nemita. Uke, uhe, ukita, uhita. Antita or anke, anhe, antita, anhita. Neke, nehe, nehita. This is supposed to be nekita. Nekita, nehita. So I'm going to fix this up and probably the same. It probably shows in the handout too, but this is supposed to be a K for nekita. So sorry about that, but let's move on. Now showing person and number, the demonstrative pronouns and the demonstrative inclusive pronouns. And so here you have them in 7 columns, showing 7 columns. This is the first person, the second person, the third person, first person plural, second person inclusive, second person plural, and third person plural. So you have Nia, Gia, Wia, Nianan, Giano, Gia wow, Wia wow. Nista, Gista, Guista, Nistanan, Gistano, Gistawao, Guistawao. Here are the persons, Nia, Gia, Guia, Nianan, Giano, Giawao, Guiawao. This is just a chart that you can print out and have it as a reminder on the wall. So you'll learn how to use the inclusive pronouns nista, ista, quista, nistanan, istano, istawao, wistawao. Nistananote katan. I'm hungry too. Istachewi supuetain. Are you going to? Wistu manawapamao. I saw him too. Nistanane gintoni mitoya. We went to dance too. Nistano kakitutea. We should go too. Gistawao si ewitute. Are you going to? Wistawao makitagotewak. they arrived too. So that's just sentences in context, and let's move on. Eksynume pinisana pahuma pia kwa mana was kanita hohe. So think of this as a house was kanita. O toma pia ke once keskisiana we kaki pinastayano ma added suffix. I say uhika pinapachita. If the man have been non-stota kwantan sume pinitoin kaya nipimpatan pimpatao. I'm only placing the word pimpata here. Nipimpatanan kipimpatano kipimpatanawaw pimpatawak. Suke is fast. Nisuke patan. Kisuke patan. Suke patao. Nisuke patanan. Kisuke patanaw. Kisuke patanawaw. Suke patawak. So everybody is running fast. And we'll go on to the next slide. And so here you see the person, the application. I put the application of person. The prefixes that you will hear, the added prefix that we used of suke, the root word we used of pimpata, and the suffix endings. These were what you were listening for, were those suffix endings to get the idea of who I was speaking about. So this is now a transitive paradigm. So this is when the action is being transferred to a subject or an object. So, because you can pimpata is also known as a commanding verb, and it's a standalone, means you can run. And I'm going to use a sum here because a sum means feed him. A sum, feed him. So you need someone to feed in order to feed someone. So now the added prefix here, we won't go into that, but I will go because of the word, the way it sounds, a sum. We're starting with the vowel ah. Kita samao, asameo. Kita samanan, kita samano, kita samanaw, kita samano, kita samawaw, yeah. Asamewak. So you'll hear a different sound in third person and in third person plural. Now, note is I want that's a prefix that means you want to do something. Note samao, I want to feed him. Note samao, do you want to, or you want to feed him? Note samao, he wants to feed him. Note samanan, we want to feed him. Note samano, we all want to feed him. Kinote samawaw, you all want to feed him. Asamewak, they want to feed him. These were the flashcards that I'm preparing so that you can practice placing a root verb within the paradigm or within the structures. So you have again here nipimpatan, kipimpatan, pimpataw, nipimpatanan, kipimpatano, kipimpatanawaw, pimpatawak. And you'll see the structure in red, right? and anything in black here, that's how you can place the verb. But here's some prefixes. Note, you want to. Nita, you're good at. Atu, to go over, to go past. So atu skehtaman. Atu stotaman. Ate is to keep going at something, or to keep going, moving forward. Atiki, well, so he went home. Atenitsu, he started to eat. Kakwe is to try. Kakwe mitsu, try and eat. Kaya is don't. Kai mitsu. Namoya is even in there. Namoya is a regular word, but it'll also take the role of a prefix sometimes. And so suke is to do something with added it is sukiawek is suk atosket so you're working very hard. Suke is to be going fast. Suke pait suke mitsut, he's going really fast eating. Suke mitsu pase. I guess pase would be the one used with mitsu. So depending on the root verb that's being used, you can use, that's how what will determine the use of these prefixes. Pune, pane is to go around doing something. Pase is to do something fast. Square to it's a crazy without order. So Kisque Pait, he went without order, so there was no order in their actions. Kisque Kanachi Chiket is cleaning up without any, just really cleaning up all around them without any real order. They're just cleaning, and so here are the basic rules with the use of verbs. You have a regular verb, verbs that are ending with E, and verbs beginning with vowel. Kipimpatan, pimpataw. Pimpatanan, kipimpatano, kipimpatanawa, pimpatawak. When you see a E at the end of the word, you have to change that E to a long A in first person, second person, first person plural, second person inclusive, and second person plural. Other than that, you can see here in third person, and in third person plural, the word looks the same. So, nipimuhtan, kipimuhtan, pimuhteo. Nipimuhtanan, kipimuhtano, kipimuhtanawa, pimuhtewak. Here we have a tuske. It was there's that E, so that's going to be changed to an A. There's two applications of the rules here, but the focus in this part is that the verb begins with a vowel A. Here's the connecting T. It's called a connecting T because it connects the person in the root verb into paradigm. So nitatoskan, itatoskan, atoskeo. Nitatoskanan, itatoskano, itatoskanawa, atoskewak. So now, in the last part of the lesson, I went over some root verbs. I selected the root verbs that I selected are. It's kind of hot in this room. Sorry about that. But pimpata, run, ape, sit, minique, drink, nipa, sleep, otena is animate, to take something animate. Otin is to take something inanimate. Mu is to eat something animate, and meche is to eat something inanimate. Lipaha, close it. Temote, walk. Mitso, eat. Go sumo, go to sleep. Wanska, wake up. Nahastake, put things away. Nahasta, put that inanimate object away. Nahe, put that animate object away. Bakwaha, dry. Napuegena, fold something that's inanimate. Napuegen, fold something that's animate. Wepahike, sweep. Masanaike, read. Aimitike, oh, masnaike is right. Aimitike is read. So masnaike is right. Aimitike, read. Now, if I was going to ask you to read that, I'd say Aimita. And so when you have to read something specific, you're using this whole word changes. Nanaskomo, be thankful. Weawi, go outside. Pitakwe, come inside. Nikamo, sing. Kistepo, cook. Pamnoaso, same thing, cook. Noati, bake. Pasikwe, wash your face. Kasitite, wash your hands. Isipekaste, take a bath. Sikaho, comb your hair. Akitsike, count. And again, there, if I wanted you to count ducks, I'd say akim sisipak. Except if I wanted you to count the shoes, I'd say akita maskisina. So there's variations with akitsike. Akitsike is in general. Kakyo akitsiketan. Let's all count. And so tapas naik is to draw. Kutin is to take. They'll also put the utin as to go shopping. So